Okay, so I'm back again. I did a little more painting this morning. I wanted to share it because so I sort of came across this synchronicity this morning. I don't know why exactly. I thought about doing something a little bit differently, like maybe making a change, like small changes in my day to day, to try to kind of um, extract more of that cave experience and some of the clearing, and just feel like I feel different, and I feel like I want to do things a little bit differently. So I looked up. Well, I didn't look it up. I usually I'll listen to audiobooks or whatever different things while I'm going about making breakfast and cleaning up and doing stuff around the house. My daughter is still not well, so she's there's still a lot of tea, and she's on the mend. But so instead of doing that today, I thought, why don't I just leave the phone upstairs? Like I just left it at my bedside table and didn't bring it with me. And instead, I brought this book with me that I've been meaning to read. I got it maybe in June when Bhante Sujatha was here. It's Empty, Empty, Happy, Happy: The Essential Teachings of a Simple Monk. And he very kindly signed it to Lisa and Kat Live in Joy, so it's very nice. But I've read like the introduction, and I've only read a few pages, and I've just not picked it up. I tend to listen to things so that I can do other things at the same time. That's not very mindful, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. Let's be a little more mindful. So I opened it up, and it's on page 5 that I came across this almost as soon as I started reading. We have to practice the teachings and work to let go of the container. I struggle with this every day, but I remain committed because it's so important. A core teaching of the Buddha is that everything changes. It's always changing, so we have to be vigilant in looking out for things we do just because we always did. I believe a great use of our time is to measure what is serving us now and what is no longer serving us, even if it did before. Things come in seasons. So there's more, and he goes on. It's good. There were other insights as I actually finished the book this morning. But I wanted to paint a little, so I started it, and this green area is what I came up with, and I was kind of thinking, like, what is that? And it looks kind of like a new leaf in spring, and edamame, which we had last night, and maybe that. And then as I looked at it more, I was thinking it's a cocoon. It does look like a cocoon in a way, like this thickness here, and how that comes together. And I thought, am I? I'm always saying that I'm in a cocoon and I'm coming out of the cocoon. I've been saying that forever. And I'm just turning the corner and turning the corner and turning the corner. Things are changing. Things are better, and they have. It's just small increments of improvement. I mean, it's been quite a lot in the last few years. I mean, the amount of change has been a lot of lessons, a lot of hurry up and wait, a lot of am I ever gonna get there? A lot of just a lot of healing and hurt and reflection and lessons and growth and all of that stuff. And as it has been for everybody, I mean, I'm not the only one living through all of the events of the last few years, and I think a lot of people have gone through a lot of change. But it's been hard, really. It's been hard, but also really good. Really good in a lot of ways, because I'm getting really happy with where I am and the changes that I have made, even though some of them sort of fell upon me. It's not like I mapped it out and said, I'm going to do this and this and this. Like some of these things, I made one decision and said, I'm going to do this, and then just that unfolded in ways I would not have predicted, but ultimately led to good lessons and more changes, and I feel like I'm kind of coming into a completely new way of thinking that I needed to do, that I think is good for me. But So cocoon, here we are with the cocoon, and that's a little bit of what I started to see. And I noticed that even though I put some blue in here, it's not, I'm not building the heavy barrier. And this, as I thought about it more, and maybe the skeleton and various things, it looks like is this passion? Is this, excitement and kind of fiery energy, or is it a wound? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I see it with all this growth still, and it's still that bright color. So maybe it's both. Maybe it's both that fiery, passionate drive to move forward, um, and at the same time a wound, um, uh, healthy, healing, right? It's not all decayed, and I didn't get a lot of darkness into it. It's still very bright, and maybe that's what it has to say. But maybe there's growth. So I wanted to share that because those synchronicities are the kinds of things that I look for. Um, I don't look for them exactly. I notice them when they come up, and it helps me when I'm in that in between. When I'm thinking, I sense that there's like the cave. There's something big there. That was a big shift for me, and now I'm trying to land it into practical action, and that's where this idea of maybe I should just change a few small things about the way I do things every day. Maybe not listening to things and multitasking. Maybe getting out the books that have been sitting there. Because really, like I think I got this in June, and that part was on page 5. I hadn't even gotten that far with it, but maybe I wasn't supposed to until now. And my belief system, I have a lot of, maybe I'm not supposed to. And I really do think things come, for better or worse, when they need to. They're catalysts for the growth. And if you're, hopefully, hopefully I'm open enough to receive those. And I think maybe those opportunities had been there in the past, but I just wasn't ready to receive that information. So that's kind of the synchronicity that I came up with. So I'm going to slap a little bit more paint on here, and then we'll see what we get. I've already messed around with the green and some of the blue, and I feel like this is a bit of a risk, but I have this like orange and red and Venetian red, which is kind of a brown, right? So this is getting pretty earthy. And so here I am. I'm thinking, I'm like, well, balance, this red, put that here. Well, if I put it here, it might imbalance, but I feel like I want to put it here. But I feel like it might imbalance this area. Like, do these go together? So, as I always do, I'm gonna just take a moment to stare at it and try to think. Actually, you know what I might do? I'm gonna look at it in this the video. So something I used to do a long time ago, when I couldn't figure out what to do with the painting, I would take a picture of it and look at it. It also works so before digital cameras. Another thing that I would do is look at it in a mirror behind me. I don't know what that does. There's probably some brain thing or whatever for whatever side of your brain, or I don't know, however that works. But it does make me see it differently when I look at it that way. So looking at it in the video in front of me, the part that I'm drawn to is I want to put it in here, and I hadn't thought about that at all. So I'm going to do that, and just fill it, right? Like just fill it. However, I'm just going to fill this white space, and I'm a little nervous because is this am I ruining it? Always. How do I have that thought so often? Am I messing up? Am I going to ruin it? But you can't ruin it. There's no such thing as ruining it, right? I'm also, I have watched my own video, and I'm trying to do a little bit better about not having my roots in the back of my head showing all the time, so you can see the painting a little better. I don't know if you noticed that I got a little closer. But, so I don't love it, but I still felt like I should put it here. And maybe that's just building. Maybe that's building for later. And as I say, I don't love it. The thing that comes to mind is, there are, so as I've said, like this year, now I want to go down here. There've been, this year, in the last couple years, maybe 2 years for sure, 3 years, 2 years really, just so many changes and so many lessons, right? And each time, a lesson turned up, I thought, oh, I've arrived. I've learned something and now I'm going to get a reward. It's going to get easier. And right away it gets harder. So I'm scaring myself a little bit because I'm thinking, I am in another point where I think, oh, everything's about to get easier. Like I've arrived, I've learned my lessons, I've made changes. Now I'm going to get a break. Now I'm going to move myself forward. Now I'm healed. Now I took a lesson and healed and, self-love and compassion and, changing habits and all that stuff. And each time in the last few years that I thought that, I ended up with more lessons, more pain, more, But you learn, this is how you learn. You don't learn as much when everything's smooth and easy. And, I certainly appreciate when I do have a little bit of easy time. I'm about to say I appreciate it more, but that's not true. That's not true. Somebody called me out on that week before, when I said, well, this is just going so smoothly. And, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. So no, I wasn't thankful. I was waiting for the other shoe to drop. And she said, well, enjoy this time of it being easy. And I didn't move past my suspicion. And then it all fell apart. The other shoe dropped. But why? Was it because I expected it to drop, and so that was how I reacted to something that another person said, and so I reacted strongly. Would it be smoother? That's an idea, Could I make it smoother on myself? Was that another lesson? So many lessons. Tell you, it's getting rough out here. But that's the kind of stuff that comes up when I talk it through and paint. Maybe that's how I've been drawn to do these paintings and be on camera. I'm not that comfortable with myself on camera, and my daughter wants to do YouTube videos, as every child wants to be a YouTuber. Now that's like everybody's career path for the under 10, I guess, set, I don't know. And so I'm trying to just adjust to that, and really like these paintings, like I do these paintings all the time. The house is full of paintings. There's more in the basement that didn't, end up on the wall. I feel like we're doing snakes again. How do we end up with these snakes? Lessons, I guess. And so, the paintings it's not like, I have shown my work before, but it's not like I paint them for that. Usually if I am painting for a reason like that, I don't like them as much as if I just painted them just for my own enjoyment and self-awareness and just stress relief. So, that's what I'm doing here, I guess. I don't know. So now I'm going to pick up the blue again. I kind of lost my thread there. I don't really know what I want to say. But even though I just loaded up with blue, I'm going to add green. I'm just gonna make a big old mess of all of this, the blue and the green, and I'm gonna do something really Should I do it? I don't know. I'm a little nervous. I am just going to make a big move with this arc. No, not that. Just in my head. Okay, so it jumps right in my head as I go to do something. It jumps right in my head. Don't do that. So, okay. I'm just looking at it, trying to think of what to do. There's maybe something there, and there's this here, but I just don't feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. This is ridiculous. But yes, in my mind, I just went yes. And also, as I just did that, almost like a little deja vu from a dream that I had last night, but I can't grasp it, just came into my head. So that's, for me, confirmation. I have this urge to make, I can't see it. Okay. So see how, like, this makes no sense. I want to just make a slash, this right here. Okay. All the other flow makes no sense there. But yes, so thickly, I don't know why I'm doing that, but that's what came to mind. So, okay, let's just go with it. I don't know why. I don't know if it'll make sense later. Hopefully I don't look terrible. I am a little bit vain. I don't know why I wanted to make that line, but I did. And so I'm just gonna make it, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just, water. I think I need water. I don't know why that has to be there. But it's what came to mind. What was I dreaming about last night? I feel like it was something important, but it's not with me right now. I don't know why I'm making this shape. No, I was about to do something there and just no. Yeah. So I can fill this a little. I mean, I still, feel like I need to blend it in, but, no. I don't know. Okay. So, up. Okay. Over here, maybe? I don't know. I have no idea why I am compelled to this. And that dream, whatever it was, is like hovering around the edges of my mind, and I can't place it. I feel like it's, where was I? Was I like at the beach or something? Love that. I don't know if that's supposed to go there. I didn't wait for confirmation. I didn't wait for my inner voice to tell me that it should, but I just wanted to. Water. So, I don't know what we're doing here. No. So, I'm talking to myself here, sort of expressing what's going on in my head. This needs more something. What is that? Why am I thinking about water? All along I've thought of these as barriers, this blue that I'm sort of compelled to throw in here. And how do I see it as water? What's going on? Yeah. Oh, that needs to be a hard edge. I don't know why. These two. Ooh. Oh, maybe it's supposed to. No. Oh no. Let's get our crusty towel. Take that out of there. I don't know what we're doing here. I'm just gonna load up some green, and this needs to have more variation. Here. I feel like that needs to do more. Yeah. And I'm actually gonna paint a little bit by looking at the at it reflected, or I don't know, in the camera, because I do see it differently that way. I don't know what we're doing. This. So. What's going on there? I don't know. I do not know. I'm taking some green and a different brush, and I'm just gonna twist it down so that I can basically just get a line to go from, right? I don't know. Let's just step back and take a look at it. All right, so what do we have going on here? Let's try to move this out a little. I see that whole thing. All right. So, what do we have here? I mean, I still see the cocoon. I feel like, did I just build another cocoon over here? So where before I saw this as one large space to be filled, I think I just built another cocoon through here. That, you know, maybe that's, and again, like I feel like I'm forming something in my other work, like there's always this egg. Do I have another sort of egg womb space starting over here? But definitely another cocoon. So, you know, in interpreting this for myself and where I might be right now or what I'm thinking about, I'm maybe am I coming out of a cocoon, or am I building another one? A bigger one. This is bigger. It has, you know, kind of stronger boundaries on it. There's not as much, you know, this one is, you know, it's coming out, you know, it's growing out of the cocoon, and now I'm maybe building a larger one. Maybe there's, I don't know if it's a wing or a cocoon. Because in some ways, you know, you could see this as a wing, right? There's this smaller bit there. So yeah, that's a good question, and I think it'll have to come out. There's more cocoons. Look at this. This is another one. Another one. So pods, cocoons, wings. You know, I'm not sure where we're headed with this, and that's probably because I don't know either. I found these little things to do, these little experiences, and they're not little, but you know, I found these experiences and I just sort of float along as they turn up, and I'm just seeking, you know, I'm just seeking something. I don't know what, but I'm seeking something, and now I do feel like it's moving to a new phase of that. Maybe a more concentrated, but I don't think that's the right word, and aware, more in depth. I don't know. It's like another level. It feels like I've made the shift. You know, like in terms of travel, it's like I made the plan and I left and I went on the trip, and now I've arrived, and what am I going to do? I don't know. Maybe something like that. Still thinking on it, but that's where we are today. We have cocoons and edamame and skulls and maybe wings and maybe more cocoons, and we'll find out what else turns up. So if anybody watched this, thank you, and have a good day.